Hi everyone, Tom Keelan here. Welcome to this brief introductory video on the multi-data set, equally likely data, Metalogs Workbook. To download this workbook and play with it in conjunction with this video, you'd simply go to the Metalogs website, metalogs.org. Under Software, you'll see ELD Metalog Workbooks, and that will bring you to a page where the data set on the workbook on the right here, the multi-data set ELD workbook, if you download that, you can follow along and then use this tool for your own data sets. So going now to the workbook itself, let's just jump right in. The primary difference between this multi-data set workbook for ELD and the single data set workbook is that it has multiple data sets in it, and you can scroll through them and fit a metalog to each data set as you like. The data are all down here. So I have this workbook can contain up to 10 data sets. Each data set has a source, a field, a short name, description. All these are yellow cells that you can fill in with your own data and information. In fact, you can come in here and you can erase all of the entries in these cells and just put in your own data. But for now, I'm going to use data that I've pre-populated here just for illustration. And the data set you are looking at is the one that's controlled by this variable right here. It says data set number 1. That's 10 points from a standard normal CDF. If I go to data set 2, everything will readjust. This one is, I believe, 100 samples from a standard normal distribution. If I go to data set 3, then I've got the weight of steelhead from the Babine River in British Columbia, the data set of 3,474 for fish. But, you know, if I look at that distribution, I know that it's a bimodal distribution. I'm only using 5 terms here. Probably for that distribution, I should use maybe 10 terms, since I know it's a bimodal distribution. There we go. And I'm using a semi-bounded lower distribution. That's good. I've got the lower bound set to 0, which makes sense for steelhead. But in this case, if I wanted to see, well, what would it look like if I set the lower bound to -5? I could type that in there like this, and all of a sudden, all my distributions for the steelhead now have a lower bound of -5 instead of a lower bound of 0. Now, I don't know why I would actually do this, but in a real case, you might want to fiddle around with different lower or upper bounds until you get the ones that you think are right. And then once you have that, then you could come and put it here, because here it says the lower bound is 0. If I put that in as -5 here, then that will become my default case. And if I erase this by just deleting what's in it, now I've got the distributions with -5. But also if I went back to here and put in a 0, then they would all default back to 0. So that's briefly how you would use this workbook. Enjoy using it. Put any data into it you want. Oh, I can briefly show regularization here. Let's go to data set number. Let's go to data set number 5. This is a simulation data set where for the n equals 16 terms, it looks like it's pretty much overfit. And if you just scale up this regularization a bit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see how all these jittery things down here for higher term metalogs kind of smooth out. But as I say, I don't end up using regularization very often. And the key features of the workbook are you can just quickly put in your data sets and quickly tune a metalog to up to 10 data sets. And then we have all your information as needed. So that's it. Have a great day, and I hope you will enjoy using the various metalog workbooks. Thanks. Bye.